You walk into your backyard one morning. The gate is still closed. The feed is still there, but your chickens are gone. Maybe you find feathers. Maybe you find a hole under the fence. Or maybe there is almost no evidence at all. 4 backyard chicken keepers around the world, from the United States to the United Kingdom, from Australia to Canada. Predators can turn a healthy flock into a devastating loss in a single night. And here is the important part. A chicken run does not have to look like a fortress to be secure, but it does need to be designed around the way predators actually attack. Welcome to Farm Inside TV. Today, we are going to build a practical predator-resistant chicken run step by step, using materials that are available at hardware stores and rural supply stores wherever you are in the world. And stay until the end, because we are going to cover the one area most chicken keepers protect too late: the bottom of the fence. Section 2. Know your local predators. Before choosing your materials, you need to know what you are protecting your chickens from. And this is where backyard farmers make their very first mistake. They build a fence for chickens, but what they really need is a barrier designed around predators. The threats can vary significantly depending on where you live. In North America, potential predators include raccoons, foxes, coyotes, hawks, owls, skunks, weasels, minks, and domestic dogs. In the United Kingdom and across Europe, foxes are a serious and persistent danger. Badgers, mustelids such as stoats and minks, birds of prey, and neighborhood dogs are also important concerns. In Australia and New Zealand, foxes, feral cats, snakes, birds of prey including wedge-tailed eagles, and other region-specific wildlife can pose very different challenges from anything a North American or European farmer expects. So do not simply copy another farmer's setup from a different part of the world. First, identify the predators in your own area. Some predators climb, some dig, some squeeze through surprisingly small openings, and some attack from above. Raccoons in North America can manipulate simple latches and reach through wire openings. Foxes across the UK, Europe, and North America dig under poorly protected fences with patience and determination. Coyotes can dig, climb, and test weak points repeatedly until they find one that gives way. Birds of prey, whether hawks in North America, birds of prey in the UK, or wedge-tailed eagles in Australia, create a completely different problem because ground fencing offers almost no protection against an aerial attack. That is exactly why a properly protected chicken run needs to defend against threats from the sides, from underneath, and from above. Know your local predators first, then build your defenses around them. Section 3. Choose the right mesh. Now we come to one of the most important decisions in the entire build: the mesh. You have probably seen chicken wire before. It is inexpensive, lightweight, and available almost everywhere in the world. And it is excellent for keeping chickens contained. But chicken wire should not be your primary predator barrier, especially along the lower sections of your run where digging and reaching predators are most active. The openings can be large enough for determined predators to reach through, and the wire is not designed to provide the same level of resistance as welded hardware cloth under sustained pressure. For the walls and lower sections of a predator-resistant run, welded hardware cloth is the stronger choice. In the United States, hardware cloth is widely available at home improvement and farm supply stores. In the United Kingdom, it is often labeled as weld mesh or welded wire mesh and is sold at agricultural merchants and fencing suppliers. In Australia, it is commonly available as welded wire mesh at rural supply stores and hardware chains. No matter where you live, the principle is the same. Look for a mesh with small openings and welded wire construction rather than twisted or woven wire. A half-inch mesh, or approximately 12 millimeters, is a strong general-purpose option when predator protection is the priority. If smaller predators such as weasels, stoats, or minks are a concern in your area, and they are a serious concern in many parts of the UK, then smaller mesh openings are the safer choice. For the upper sections of the run where a smaller mesh is less critical, some farmers use a larger welded poultry mesh depending on their local predator risk. But for a simple rule that works across most situations, using half-inch hardware cloth throughout the vulnerable lower sections gives you the strongest baseline protection. Secure it firmly to the frame. Do not rely on a few staples in the corners. A predator only needs one weak section to turn your well-built run into an open door. Section 4. Plan your run. Before buying a single piece of timber, plan the size of your run. A commonly recommended range for an outdoor chicken run is about 5 to 10 square feet per bird, or approximately half a square meter to 1 square meter per bird in metric terms. The ideal amount depends on your breed, your climate, your management style, and how much time your chickens spend outside each day. More space is almost always better. As a practical example, 6 chickens could have a run measuring 6 feet by 10 feet, or roughly 2 meters by 3 meters. But space is only part of the design. Your chickens also need shade, ventilation, dry ground, clean water, and shelter from both predators and weather. Build the run tall enough for you to enter comfortably. A walk-in run makes cleaning, inspecting, and caring for the flock much easier, and you will appreciate it every single day. Wherever possible, position part of the run where chickens have access to natural shade during the hottest part of the day. This matters whether you are in Texas, Queensland, or the south of England. Before construction begins, mark your full perimeter with stakes and string. A few minutes of planning now can save hours of rebuilding later. Section 5. Build a strong frame. Now it is time to build the structure. The exact timber size you use will depend on the size of your run, your local weather conditions, and the building materials available in your region. In the United States and Canada, treated dimensional lumber is a standard choice for outdoor framing because of its resistance to moisture and decay. In the United Kingdom, pressure-treated timber from a builder's merchant is the common equivalent. In Australia, treated pine or hardwood framing from a hardware supplier works well in most climates. Set your main posts securely into the ground. The depth and spacing should suit your soil conditions, wind exposure, and the size of the structure you are building. In areas with heavy frost, common in Canada, the northern United States, and parts of the UK, deeper post foundations provide better stability. In high-wind regions, whether coastal Australia, the Scottish Highlands, or the Great Plains, pay extra attention to bracing and corner connections. Once your main posts are set, connect them with horizontal framing members. Add diagonal bracing at the corners to prevent the structure from twisting or racking over time. And plan the door location carefully before you frame anything else. A strong, well-framed door opening saves a great deal of trouble when it is time to install the hardware. When you push against the finished frame, it should feel solid with no movement. Section 6. Attach the hardware cloth. This is where the predator resistance of your run really starts to take shape. Unroll your hardware cloth along the outside of the frame. Keep the mesh as tight as possible and avoid leaving loose sections anywhere along the wall. Where 2 pieces of mesh meet, overlap them rather than placing them edge to edge. Then secure the mesh firmly to the frame using appropriate fencing staples or screws fitted with washers. Do not leave large unsupported sections between fasteners. Do not leave loose edges that a persistent predator can grip and pull away from the frame. Pay close attention to corners, where 2 walls meet. Pay attention to the very bottom edge of the mesh along the ground. And pay attention to the door frame, where gaps can open up over time if the framing is not solid. These are important areas to inspect carefully because gaps and loose edges can become entry points for predators. After the walls are secured, cover the roof of the run as well. This step is critical if hawks, owls, birds of prey, or climbing predators are present in your area. Whether that is a red-tailed hawk in the United States, a sparrowhawk in the UK, or a wedge-tailed eagle in Australia, an open top is an open invitation. A fully enclosed run provides a dramatically stronger barrier than a run with an open roof. If you live somewhere that receives significant snowfall, parts of Canada, the northern United States, Scandinavia, or upland areas of the UK, make sure the roof structure is strong enough to support snow load before winter arrives. In warmer climates where snow is not a factor, a lighter roof frame is perfectly acceptable. Section 7. Protect the bottom. Now we reach one of the most consistently overlooked parts of predator protection, the fence line. A strong wall means almost nothing if a predator can simply dig underneath it. This is where a predator apron makes a real difference. A predator apron is a section of welded mesh attached to the bottom of your fence and extended outward across the ground, like a flat skirt around the base of the run. A predator apron can extend outward from the fence along the ground, or the lower edge of your fence can be buried and angled outward into the soil. For a buried barrier, Penn State Extension recommends burying the wire at least 12 inches deep and turning the lower edge outward about 6 inches. The exact approach depends on your soil type, predator pressure, and local conditions, but even a modest apron adds meaningful protection. When a fox in the UK, a coyote in North America, a feral dog in Australia, or any digging animal anywhere in the world starts working at the base of your fence, it encounters the physical mesh barrier before it can get underneath. That physical barrier at ground level can significantly reduce the chance of predators digging underneath the fence. You can cover the apron with soil, gravel, bark mulch, or vegetation to make it less visible. Make sure the apron is securely connected to the vertical fence with no gap between them, and inspect it regularly. A gap between the wall and the apron can become an entry point for a determined predator. If digging pressure is particularly severe in your area, a buried vertical barrier combined with the horizontal apron can provide an additional layer of protection at the foundation. Section 8. The door and latch. Now let us talk about the part of your run that humans use every single day. The door. A perfectly protected fence loses its value entirely if the door has a large gap, a weak hinge, or a latch that a clever predator can open. Build your door from a rigid timber frame and cover it with the same welded hardware cloth you used on the walls. Make sure the door closes tightly against the frame with no significant gap at any edge. Then choose a secure latch that requires deliberate human movement to open. Simple hook-and-eye latches and basic slide bolts may not provide enough security in areas where raccoons, badgers, or other highly dexterous animals are active. These animals are persistent, patient, and surprisingly capable with their paws. A carabiner-style clip, a double-action bolt, or a padlock provides a meaningful additional layer of security. You do not need the most expensive latch on the market. You need a latch that a predator cannot open by pushing, lifting, pulling, or working one component loose. Add a secondary latch at the bottom of the door as well. Inspect the bottom corners of the door frame regularly. Even a small gap that opens gradually over time is enough for a determined predator to exploit. Section 9. Night security and regular inspection. There is one final rule that applies to every backyard chicken keeper, regardless of where in the world you live. Lock your chickens inside a secure coop at night. Make it a nightly routine. Your run provides valuable daytime protection, but the coop is your flock's primary nighttime shelter. Close the birds inside before dark and make sure the coop itself has no gaps, holes, or weak points that nighttime predators can exploit. Motion-activated lights, audible deterrents, and other electronic devices may add a useful extra layer of protection in some situations. But predators can and do become accustomed to repeated scare tactics over time. Physical barriers, strong mesh, a solid roof, a protected base, and a reliable latch should always be your first and primary line of defense. Finally, inspect your run regularly. Look for loose staples. Check for damaged or stretched mesh. Look for digging marks or scrape marks at the base of the fence. Check every corner. Inspect the door and its hinges. And look carefully for any sign that an animal has been testing your perimeter. A 5-minute inspection each week is one of the most effective predator prevention habits you can build. And remember this, the strongest predator protection is never one single expensive solution. It is several simple defenses working together. Strong welded mesh on the walls, a covered roof, a protected bottom edge, a reliable latch on a solid door, and a locked coop every night. Layer those defenses, and you can dramatically reduce the risk of predator attacks. Your chickens depend on you for food, water, shelter, and safety. And building a predator-resistant run does not have to mean spending a fortune or having professional construction experience. You just need to understand how predators in your area behave and build your defenses around those specific risks. That principle works whether you are keeping chickens in a suburban backyard in Ohio, a small garden in rural England, or a property in Queensland, Australia. If this guide was useful, subscribe to Farm Inside TV. We focus on practical, proven poultry and farming knowledge that real backyard farmers can actually use, wherever they are in the world. And tell us in the comments, what is the biggest predator challenge in your area? Is it foxes, raccoons or coyotes, birds of prey, or something your local farmers deal with that most of the world has never heard of? We read every comment, and your answer might become our next video. Thanks for watching Farm Inside TV. Keep farming, keep learning, and keep your flock safe.